Happy Wednesday, folks. I haven't been live very much because we've been moving and it's been just nuts. And I've been hearing from other people, and I hear from folks that I work with like every day that it's nuts for everyone. Between distance learning and being in a pandemic for so long, and um, the election and everything coming up right now, I think most of our systems are really on overload. And so I want to just share with you what's going on for me and my family and what I'm doing. It's been really a hard couple of weeks. And as a result, I've decided that I need to make some changes to better support my kids. I've just been a little bit short. I haven't been super present. Sometimes I'm present, but not always. I've kind of lost the magic, and magic is something that I love. I'm really into magical things. And with the move that we made, and I posted about that on my stories if you missed it, we moved to Canyon. Um, Things have just been really crazy, and I have decided I have a cohort of guiding cooperation that just started last week, and I have decided that I am going to put my own self in that class because my kids need it, and I need it. We need the focus support. We need the focus on one tool at a time, and we need the slowness. I need to slow down for them. We've had a lot of behaviors lately, a lot of like bickering between siblings, a lot of frustration. Like I can't find the Zoom link, then I get frustrated, then my kids start to get frustrated. And so this week I'm going to really go back to basics and focus with the people who are in this current cohort on praise and presence. And I started this morning. So I kind of forgot when I woke up this morning, but my husband and I decided last night that we were going to do that this week. And I've just been really reflecting on something a parent said to me a couple of days ago. I had asked them to submit to me a video of something delightful in their family, something delightful with their child who's very challenging. And she said, I don't think there's any delightful things. It's too hard. Like, it's just hard all the time. And I was like, I just want you to find something. And so when she brought me this video, it was a video of her and her son playing catch outside. She brought me this video and we watched it together, and she just was in tears because she was like, I forgot that there's like some things that are really delightful and lovely. And I think that's it so often for so many of us. It's like, there's just so much going on that it's so hard to forget that there's something delightful and lovely. And with each of our children, there is that. And for me, it's like my twins have just been fighting and fighting lately. And so it's not like a super big deal. It's small bickerings, but it just gets on the nerves, you know? And so this morning I woke up, I was like, we're having a perspective change. I'm focusing on praise. Just like for that mom who was like, it's just a different shift of my attention to start focusing on something delightful. So this morning we got up, we had breakfast. The twins actually got their little sister dressed. So I was like, wow, you're such helpers. And just like noticing all the ways that they're helping with sister and helping the dog really shifted how I was feeling this morning. So I'm going to be doing that for the next while. When you think about praise, the highest quality of praise is presence, right? It's to say to your child, you matter enough for me to be here with you. And you matter so much that you're the thing that I'm focusing on the most. And that's what our kids want. I mean, honestly, that's what we all want, right? Like to be focused on that like that and to have that kind of quality presence. So I'm really going to focus on that. I this afternoon, I'm going to do some painting with the girls that we've been wanting to do. And I've just decided to clear my schedule and that we both need that time, or we all need that time to sort of be together and be nourished. And I encourage you to do so too. So when you think about praise, and when you do this, you're going to heap on the praise. Most parents don't praise their kids enough. Many parents get worried. They like hear about the Carol Dweck research on mindset and praise, and they get worried about giving inflated praise that could backfire. So to give high quality, when you're giving high quality praise, you can't give enough. Most parents don't say more about correction, direction, and instruction than they do about connection. And this is the part about back to basics. Praise and connection are the basics. And so when you're praising, there's 5 elements that I want you just to have front of mind. The first is that praise should be uber frequent. This is research-based, folks. This is not something I made up. There's a lot of parenting coaches out there that studied sociology and then had a couple kids and then called themselves a parenting coach. And they may have something good to contribute, but what I'm talking to you about is neurological, psychological, research, educational research that is replicable. I'm really steeped in that. So this is not just a random recommendation. This is what the research would suggest after looking at thousands of parents that you need to do in order to give effective praise. So frequent means 100 times a day. Okay, so that's a lot of praise. If you're with your kid all day long, it's about 10 times an hour. If they go to school or somewhere else, it's 25 times an hour. So to get to that number, you can do a sportscastery thing where you're just labeling what they're doing. Okay, so that is to my point around specificity. So the second thing of effective praise, so it's got to be frequent, it's got to be specific. Okay, so when I say specific, I mean I want you to label exactly what your child is doing. So no more good job, throw that out the window, don't say it anymore. Kids don't have jobs. The concept of a job is very abstract, and you have a job probably, but your child does not. So instead, let's go with exactly what they're doing. So they may be, it's like, wow, I see you getting ready to put your shoes on. Did you notice you could start praising something before they even done the thing? Getting ready to put your shoes on. So be really specific. Playing nicely with your sister. I see you, wow, now you're picking up your crayons, whatever it is, just label it. Okay, so frequent, specific, immediate. This is also research-based within 2 seconds. Okay, so right away, that means that you already need to be in it. So we've got frequent, we've got specific, we've got sealed with touch. So I want you to seal it with a little hug or a high five. Not so big touch that you interrupt the activity, but enough touch that the child knows you're there, and play with that to figure out what is the right touch for your child. A squeeze, a high five, a hug, whatever it is for your kiddo. It's got to be authentic and effusive. Now this one is really important. I think that this one is the most important. So if you praise your child for something they already know how to do, it's not going to work, right? It's like if you think about yourself, right? You think about I don't know. You think about if I say to you, oh my gosh, you put your shirt on. It's like, yes, I put my shirt on every day. It's weird if you say that, right? So don't do that. Instead of doing that, I want you to focus on what your child is working on. Okay, so focus on what it is that they're working on. And then, so we've got frequent, we've got sealed with touch, we've got specific, we've got effusive and authentic. I have one more note about that. And then we've got immediate and in close proximity. So immediate and in close proximity means within hugging distance. Okay, so put your arm out. That's how close you need to be. So that's going to facilitate the touch, and it's also going to make you one of the more prominent things in your child's field, so that they can actually engage, right? And that they know that you're there. It's not like across the room praise. It's like arm distance praise. And then the last thing that I wanted to say, we talked about effusive and authentic, but some kids need your praise to be softly effusive. So some kids like really big praise. They like to be thrown up in the air. They like big gestures. They like loud sounds. It's real big, and they respond to that, especially young children, some young children. And other kids need it to be a little bit more subdued. And so if you give big praise like that and your kid kind of shrinks into themselves, then I want you to shift and turn instead to like softly effusive, right? So it's like, yeah, you got it. And you might even whisper like that. Whispering is totally fine. Um, so that you can kind of give them the kind of praise that is attuned to what their needs are. So that's what one of my cohorts is focusing on this week. This is really the basics, the underpinning piece of parenting in this style. And if if you're struggling like I am, with everything that's going on and all the stuff, then I encourage you to return to basics and focus with me this week on praise and see what happens. I think I'm going to probably do a challenge in my group. So if you want in on that, drop a comment here and I'll add you to that group so that you can get in on the challenge and we can support each other to sort of shift some of these tricky dynamics that are happening in our families. I hope that you're well. Have a wonderful Wednesday. Let's talk soon.